Man, why do I get the feeling I'm going to lose sleep playing this game when it comes out? Hey, I want to introduce some panelists to you. We're really fortunate to have these guys here. We're going to start with the artists. These guys are extremely talented. You're going to see that right up here. Please help me in welcoming Arnie Jorgensen and Clint Young. Next up, we have two of the senior writers, two of the writers of the Old Republic. Please help me in welcoming Paul Hood and Drew Karpyshyn.
Yeah! Woo! Go Drew!
All right, I'll sit over here. Go ahead. Musical chairs. It's fun. Here, take this. We'll pass down the microphone. So, Arnie, what you got going on over there? You want to tell us a little bit about your role at the company and what you're going to be doing for us this afternoon?
So I'm Arnie Jorgensen. I'm the lead concept artist on Star Wars: The Old Republic. And today I'll be drawing for you guys a character that you may very well meet in the Old Republic during your travels. I won't tell you what class it is, you'll have to guess, and I won't tell you any more than that. So I hope you enjoy it. I've got 1 hour to give the best I can. So
all right, well, we'll let you get started. So why don't we go ahead with our panelists here. Clint, we'll start with you. Why don't you each introduce yourselves and tell us what you're working on in the game, what you do at BioWare.
I'm Clint Young. I'm a senior concept artist, and I mainly work on environments, although I like to dabble in spaceships and blasters and lightsabers as well.
Right on. Yeah, that's a tough job. That's so fun.
Lightsabers.
This man is my hero. My name is Paul Hood. I'm a senior writer at BioWare, and I've had the extreme honor of getting to write characters, plots, and dialogue for the Smuggler and Jedi Knight classes, as well as group story content, and getting to work with this fella right here.
And you would be?
So my name is Drew Karpyshyn.
Yeah!
I've been with BioWare for about 10 years, worked on a number of titles. A little game called Mass Effect.
Yeah!
A little game before that, I was lead writer on a game called KOTOR. I've done a few novels, Darth Bane novels, and now I'm doing the best thing I've ever done, which is Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah. You've been very popular. So let's quickly talk about your role, Clint. I mean, you're in charge of you do a lot of environment art. I mean, you have to create these incredible worlds. Is that right? You want to talk a little bit about what goes into creating these worlds that you put together for the Old Republic?
Sure. So what happens is these fine fellow right here will give me a broad overview of what planet they want, and I go ahead and I read the documentation and then a blank canvas. Usually there's a few ideas. I sit down, I start to draw roughs for these guys. We have meetings, we look at them, we design the colors for them, because it's a big deal with planets in the Star Wars universe to have their own color, their own look, their own feel. So it starts there, and then we just build up from there. You know, be it Tatooine or Hoth or one of the newer planets like Belsavis. It starts off with many doodles, and then it works itself up into a final piece that gets posted up on the wall for everybody to then build off of.
How many of you saw Clint draw yesterday? Pretty impressive stuff. I was glad to see you got your green lava in there.
Yeah, I got my green planet in.
Yeah, your green planet with green lava, the smoke and everything. That was great.
Over Arnie's objections.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hey, so why don't we take a step back here? Let's just talk, Drew. Why don't you just tell us, what is the Old Republic, in your mind, in your opinion, really all about, this game?
So, as most of the people here probably know, it is a massive multiplayer online game. And the thing that makes Star Wars, The Old Republic, so awesome, besides being Star Wars, of course, is we're adding the fourth, what we call the fourth pillar to the gameplay. Now, everyone who's played MMOs is familiar with combat, exploration, progression, building up your character. We call those the three main pillars. And we're adding BioWare-style story to the Old Republic. There's been story in MMOs before, but we like to think we're taking it to a whole new level, something that people really have never seen before, to give you an experience that will just absolutely revolutionize the entire MMO genre.
Can we talk too about, well, this is something we touched on a little bit yesterday, and I just mentioned it in the intro. You know, you're bringing that BioWare style of storytelling to the game. Now, I really appreciate how much story we're talking about here because I've seen it, but I mean, let's really discuss that for folks that love MMOs and love BioWare, because we're talking about a massive amount of story. To do a BioWare type of story for an MMO means that you are just exponentially increasing the amount of story that's in this game. Do you want to speak to that, either you or Hall?
All right, so I keep track of this stuff because it amuses me and terrifies me. So I come from a screenwriting background, and I counted up how many words of dialogue there are in the Empire Strikes Back screenplay. There's 7,730 words of dialogue. So I've kept track of how much dialogue is in our game. And I think, as of right now, I think we've got 240 Empire Strikes Backs worth of dialogue in our game. That's a lot.
And everyone is pure gold.
Well, and I can tell you too, because you know I'm working on the voice side of this, and you know a lot of times, like a line, because we do line counts for things. Oh well, you know we need to book this actor for this long because there's only there's only 500 lines or something like that. You know, and if you're doing a shooter or something like that, the line is grenade, get down, get down. That's like 3 lines, right? Well, here it's like, well, let me tell you what's going on this planet, because what we have to do is it'll be like this long paragraph. I mean, you guys have a lot of writing to do. You must be very busy.
Yes.
Yes, very, very busy. Actually, on our time off here at the convention, we actually go back to the hotel room and just keep working because we can't even take a break. It's that much dialogue.
Right, go check your email and you got some story ideas and you jot them down. So Hall, you worked, did a lot of work on the smuggler class, right?
Yeah.
So can we talk about the smuggler class, because you know, how do you go about, we saw this in this trailer, how do you go about taking all these different classes and balancing them together? Say, for example, a guy with a blaster going up against a Sith. Do you want to talk about that with the writing?
All right, so let's make something very clear.
Oh yeah.
Chuck Norris cries himself to sleep every night because he'll never be as awesome as Han Solo. This is the true fact. So the great thing about getting to write for the Smuggler is that, you know, when I saw Star Wars as a kid, I thought Luke was pretty cool. But I really walked out of that theater thinking, I want to be the guy with his own ship and the big dog who can fly it with him and tell him his on. That just seemed better somehow. Plus, he was really sarcastic and funny, and so that's been the great thing, bringing that to...
And really popular with princesses.
And really popular.
Yeah. Cool
And you get to write that. So, yeah, so it's fun. And the thing to remember, too, is that from a game design standpoint, you're never just somebody with a blaster. You have so many tricks up your sleeve. You know, we have 4 classes in our game that we call sort of the non-force using classes. We've got the Smuggler, we've got the Republic Trooper, we've got the Bounty Hunter, that's right, and the Imperial Agent. All of them have their own unique tricks that are going to make them absolutely lethal in combat against anyone with a lightsaber. And then they're going to make fun of you after they pwn you. So that's the great thing about the Smuggler is that, you know, first they're going to walk up to you, they're going to do a dirty kick, they're going to shoot you as you're...
Wait, they're going to do a what?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to do a dirty kick.
I went and looked this up after Hall mentioned it yesterday. It's actually called the Nut Buster.
Oh, my Death Stars.
So it's even funnier when you're playing a female smuggler. That's what makes this picture really.
Wow.
We're well fired.
Well, speaking, I mean, there are a lot of surprises to this game, clearly. Let's go back to the art side of things and let's talk about this a little bit. So, what do you think, Clint, are some of the things that will visually surprise people about this game? You know, we're seeing this great character work that's going up on the screen. You did those wonderful environments. What do you think is something that will really surprise and inspire fans about the Old Republic in terms of its visuals?
Well, we maintained everything that was great about the KOTOR franchise. It had a look that everybody loved. We were able to marry that into the style that we're doing now and take it even further. In terms of the planets, such a wide variety. Any one of these worlds that I've drawn, and I tell you, it's crazy when you do these paintings. I don't know if they'll be able to get this. Maybe 75% of this. Oh man, I hope that you send it along, and you walk away from it for a couple of weeks, and you pass by somebody's machine. One of these world builders have actually have it up there, and for a moment you go, "Is that a concept?" And then you realize they've not only captured what I drew, they've taken it to the next level and made it even better. And before you know it, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what planet I want to start on because they're all so wonderful. Just fantastic artists doing a great job. And for you guys, to experience this, they really, really are not only Star Wars fans, but extremely creative and want to give you guys the absolute best Star Wars experience that they can.
That's awesome. That's incredible. I have a question for everyone up here. You mentioned the specific art style of the KOTOR franchise, KOTOR 1, KOTOR 2, and now the Old Republic. What are the advantages from an art standpoint and a story standpoint of taking Star Wars and setting it thousands of years before the Battle of Yavin? I mean, you have this wonderful playground at BioWare to tell stories, to create art assets in order to show things, show people things they've never seen before and tell stories they've never heard before. Can you discuss that from both an art and story standpoint?
Okay, so the great thing is, this is an era of Star Wars history that is